to it because the footage confused a lot of people. You're a leopard, yet somehow a goat owner turned your crime scene into a debate club. Let's be clear. I did everything right from a hunting perspective. The goat was isolated, the timing was good, and the environment favored silence.
Silence until a human showed up yelling like his rent depended on that goat. You went from apex predator to awkward guest real quick.
That man reacted emotionally. He should have respected the natural order instead of inserting himself into it.
The natural order is funny because it stopped applying the moment he grabbed a stick and squared up. You expected panic, but instead you got commitment.
I didn't expect resistance at that level. Humans usually negotiate from a distance, not up close and personal.
Exactly, and that's where the confusion started. You were holding the goat like the job was done, while the owner was acting like the credits hadn't rolled yet.
He was loud, unpredictable, and reckless. That kind of energy disrupts a clean exit.
Disrupts is generous because the way you backed up looked like you suddenly remembered an appointment. 1 minute predator, next minute you were respecting personal space.
I chose not to escalate the situation. There was no need to turn one meal into a larger conflict.
So you decided the goat wasn't worth arguing with someone who loves it. That's growth, but it's also hilarious considering you started the conversation.
I don't fight desperation. And that man was fully committed to losing nothing that day.
Exactly. He wasn't brave. He was emotionally invested. Right. That goat wasn't livestock. It was family, legacy, and future income rolled into one.
I underestimated that bond. I assumed fear would override attachment.
And instead, attachment overrode fear, which is why the goat went home, and you went home with a story you don't like telling.
I walked away intact, and the goat lived to make noise another day.
And that's the lesson for today. Sometimes the most dangerous thing in the wild isn't claws or teeth. It's someone who refuses to let go.
The lions ran from him.
Welcome back to the podcast where bravery shows up uninvited and stays too long. Today's guest stood still while multiple lionesses tried to convince him that fear exists. I was minding my own business when confidence started circling me aggressively. They showed teeth, I showed patience, and patience won the introduction round.
So let me understand this clearly for the viewers at home. You saw lionesses coordinate, communicate, and lock eyes, and you didn't move?
I moved internally, calculating angles and outcomes with zero panic involved. Running would have invited disrespect, and I refused disrespect on principle.
Most animals either flee or freeze in that situation without discussion. You looked like you were waiting for customer service to respond.
When predators expect fear and don't receive it, confusion becomes my shield. That moment of doubt is where control quietly switches hands.
You are smaller, lighter, and clearly outnumbered by experienced hunters. Explain how logic didn't immediately tap out.
Logic told me they were testing boundaries, not committing to chaos. I simply refused to signal weakness and let uncertainty do the work.
Let's take the humor out of it for a second because this was serious. One wrong step and survival would not be part of the conversation.
I was fully aware that death was nearby and very interested. But fear only matters when it controls decisions instead of sharpening them.
Witnesses said you charged forward instead of backing away. That's not instinctual prey behavior by any definition.
I didn't charge to attack, I charged to disrupt expectations. Predators hesitate when the script suddenly stops making sense.
So you weren't trying to overpower them physically. You were forcing hesitation into their coordination.
Exactly. Hesitation breaks formation faster than violence ever could. Once unity cracks, dominance becomes negotiable.
Those lionesses are trained by experience and hunger. Yet something in that moment stalled them.
They recognize commitment without bluffing or noise. Predators respect certainty even when they hate it.
Let's address the myth directly because people are watching closely. You didn't win because you were fearless. You won because you were deliberate.
Fear was present, but it was not allowed to speak first. Control is louder than panic when pressure peaks.
The internet calls you insane, reckless, and impossible to intimidate. What are they missing entirely?
They confuse loud reactions with strength and silence with weakness. Real confidence doesn't rush or announce itself.
People watching this feel small in their own lives and situations. What lesson survives beyond the jungle moment?
Stand your ground before certainty arrives. Momentum follows those who refuse to retreat. Before we interview our guest tonight, I want you to watch this video real quick.
All right, before we even start, I need the timeline because this sounds like a headline nobody could write without exaggeration.
Yeah.
You went head to head with a fully trained US soldier in a lifting contest.
Look, I don't exaggerate. The weight was exactly 500 kilograms. The soldier tried his best, but the numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie, but the video makes it look like he just politely asked the weight to move and it said, not today. You, on the other hand, lifted it like it was a sack of leaves at breakfast. It's about technique, leverage, and timing. I didn't rush, I didn't panic, and I just let my body do what it's evolved to do.
Yeah. And meanwhile, he's straining like he's auditioning for an action movie, sweat dripping everywhere, face red enough to rival the setting sun. Bro thought he had a chance.
I could feel his doubt before the lift even started. And once doubt creeps in, you're halfway gone mentally before your muscles fail physically. Let's pause here because this is where it gets insane.
Right.
There were literally 1,000 humans watching, all thinking, yeah, a fully grown silverback, but we got this.
Right.
They didn't get it. They assumed size is proportional to intelligence or strategy, and I didn't correct them until after they collectively gasped. Collective gasp is polite because what really happened was hundreds of jaws dropped, necks craned, and some probably started updating their wills mentally. I held form, I held focus, and when the soldier's arm shook, I knew the moment was mine. And then it happened. The silverback lifted, the soldier struggled, and the crowd went from confident to quietly sobbing. I didn't need to intimidate him. The lift itself was intimidation enough. And let's not forget the humans in the audience, all 1,000 of them, thinking it was a spectacle they could participate in. They underestimated the physics of nature, the biology of muscle, and the common sense of knowing your limits. They all learned a lesson quickly. Strength isn't just numbers. It's presence, timing, and understanding your own power.
Presence, timing.
Yeah.
Bro, the soldier's face said it all down. The moment you lifted that bar, reality hit him like a truck. And the crowd,
They realized the silverback doesn't negotiate with human egos. I didn't enjoy humiliating him. I enjoyed the lift. The outcome was unavoidable. Unavoidable? That's one word for it. Hilarious, public, embarrassing, historical, pick your adjective. You just redefined impossible in front of 1,000 witnesses who thought humans still ruled the jungle. History will remember the lift, not the soldier's failure. The lesson is always bigger than the moment of defeat. And that's exactly the takeaway, folks.
Yeah.
Brains, brawn, and composure beat ego, adrenaline, and overconfidence, especially when you're standing next to a silverback. And for anyone doubting the scale, let the video speak for itself. Strength is earned, and 1,000 humans learned that the hard way.
So, Kasongo, you saw a lion peeping into your hole and your brain said, charge? No thinking, no meeting, just straight demolition plans.
Listen, when a landlord enters uninvited, rent must be collected immediately. That hole is my mortgage, my children's future, my entire economy.
Yeah.
but the lion is literally the CEO of fear, chairman of jungle violence.
Right.
You looked at that resume and said, yeah, I can take him. Yeah. CEO or not, he was bending like he lost something inside my house. I assumed he was confused, so I helped him relocate forcefully. Helped him relocate straight into the hole with you? That's not bravery. That's a joint business venture with death. No, that was strategy. Close combat discounts apply underground. Up there, he's a superstar. Down there, he's just a cat with panic. So you ram him, boom, both of you disappear like bad Wi-Fi signal. At what point did you regret this life choice? Mid-air, brother, mid-air, regret hit me like a notification. But momentum is a jealous spirit. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. Reports say the lion screamed before you even landed. What did you whisper to him on the way down? I said, welcome to low budget housing, no exits included.
He replied with confusion sounds and poor breathing decisions.
Inside the hole now, darkness, dust, two animals questioning God. Who panicked first? Be honest with yourself.
The lion, immediately, his confidence expired underground. I was calm. I live there. I know where the trauma corners are.
So the king of the jungle turned tenant number 2. Did he ask for directions or just accept his fate?
He tried roaring, but it came out like customer service complaints. No echo, no authority, just fear doing freestyle.
How did the situation end before someone became breakfast? Because this story sounds like a funeral with jokes.
He reversed faster than bad investment advice. Climbed out dirty, humbled, and spiritually lighter.
And you just stayed inside like nothing happened? No trauma, no shaking, no life reevaluation? I swept the hole and took a nap. Adrenaline is tiring. That day I learned confidence is louder than claws. So your message to lions watching this interview right now, any advice from Kasongo the fear accountant?
Mind your business and stop window shopping in people's holes. Some of us bite back spiritually and physically.